Not a problem. I like now. Once again, welcome, folks. We are back to YNaija Situation Room for the 2015 elections. So far today, the presidential elections has held in some areas, while in some areas, due to some issues, card reader issues and others, like violence and stuff, they had to postpone to tomorrow. So in places like Rivers, they had violent issues where so far 2 people have been reported to be dead. In places like Lagos, the elections were largely free and fair and bereft of violence. We have Chetan is back with us. So he's been on the move going around the states, and he has a good idea of what's been happening so far. So from your movement around Lagos since morning, what's your general assessment of the voting process?
Well, first things first, I have to say that I've enjoyed driving around Lagos today. It's a beautiful place to drive it. It can always be this empty. The elections have been decent, honestly, and like most things in this country could have been better organized. However, I have to give props to INEC. They've done a decent job within the limits of the constraints that they face. Again, one thing must be said: the Nigerian people have clearly embraced democracy. We've started to do this thing seriously. In many of the polling units I visited, you could see there was that patience from people. Of course, there were incidents of free temper. People wanted to get this done, especially at points where the materials or the officials arrived late. But these were, in my experience, from what I saw today, fewer and far between than it normally is. So kudos to everybody all around. And let's any results have started coming. As is usual with Nigerian elections, people waited for the result, therefore counting to be done before they started leaving the polling units. The counting was done, the results were declared, and people left, in many cases, celebrating. Generally, a lot of people had a fair idea of what the results would be like before they left anyway, because of course it's only natural to assume that they had discussed among themselves before it started. So they were quite. It was good. Yeah, it was good.
So before we come to the results that started trickling in, I want to address the main issue that led to extension of the polls in some areas, which is the card reader. To an extent, it worked well, but in some places it had hitches.
Yes. Now, some of the hitches that were identified with the card reader were hitches such as, in many places, you found that the INEC officials themselves did not know what to do. There was this film on top of the protective film on top of the actual fingerprint reader, which they didn't remove. But it's funny enough, it was in what I was told, it was in an Abuja polling unit that a staff of Accenture noticed that advised the INEC official on what to do. She did it, and it started working. And suddenly, this is where we saw things like the power of social media come into play today. The moment it was done, suddenly everybody heard about it, and cards are walking all over the place. Of course, I heard about what happened at the president's polling unit. I like to think that was a part of the problem, possibly. Although a BBC correspondent said that he suspected that signal jammers, which usually accompany the president's convoy anyway, could have been responsible. But the bottom line is that over and above card readers worked rather well. From what we've been hearing in other parts of the country, especially in the southeast, they may not have worked so. Largely in a lot of places in the southeast, they went straight to manual accreditation.
They didn't bother with the card readers.
Sometimes.
Okay, so the president, we spoke about it, and while we spoke about it extensively. BBC claims that maybe the signals by jamming the card readers from functioning. But why was it just affecting the president and the first lady, not any other person at the polling units?
Well, because I was not on the ground, I can't tell you for a fact whether it was just the president and the first lady. Bottom line is that they are clearly the most high-profile members of that polling unit. Okay. So it will be clear that once it starts happening to them, everybody would very likely suspend whatever else they are doing to make sure that Oga and Madam are taken care of. It's just the Nigerian way. You can't hold that against anybody. Point is, both the president and the first lady eventually got accredited and cast their votes. Yes. So I don't see too much of an issue in that. And to the president's credit, he also said he didn't see an issue in that, and that as far as he was concerned, the process was free and fair.
Okay. The polls have been postponed, extended to Sunday. Yes. Did you see that coming?
I saw that coming. The moment things started going wrong here and there, it started pretty early from the materials not arriving for the House of Representatives election in Jigawa. You could tell almost immediately that something was going to something would have to give in that respect. But this is again kudos to INEC in that respect for being man enough to admit when they didn't get it right and then give that extension. To be fair to them, at least 3 weeks ago, the INEC chairman had said that if things don't go right, there will be an extension till the next day. So it's nice that we already knew that that possibility was on the ground, and now that it has happened, we know that they've gone ahead to do that. So it's kudos to them on all counts. For me, the important thing is that the results which come today and the results which will come tomorrow are results that can be authenticated, and that the large piece that we've had so far will maintain. That's what is crucial.
In Rivers State, Otimi Amici refused to get accredited because of the result sheet that was missing. Did you get to the bottom of that? Did you get development?
I think eventually there was the report that eventually got accredited.
It got accredited.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how reliable that is, but they said it got accredited eventually.
Do you have any information on it? Did you get the result sheet? Did they find it?
I don't have much information about it, because the people I know within the Port Harcourt area and the journalists I know were not stationed in his unit. However, I spoke with someone else, and this is unverified information. I must put that out there first. I spoke with someone else just a few minutes ago who claims that that all the result sheets are already with the PDP candidates for the Rivers State governorship. So, which is why result sheets were missing in a lot of places in Rivers. Whether this is true, I don't know. I wouldn't want to rely on that. The person who I spoke to is not a sympathizer of either the APC or the PDP. He's just an all-company boy who just happens to live in Port Harcourt. But clearly that's the rumor on the streets. Whether they're on the streets in Port Harcourt, whether that rumor will have an effect in final analysis, we do not know. But I'm beginning to see some people already requesting for an election rerun in Rivers State.
Wow. What are the implications of that?
It depends on it depends on the results that come in. Rivers State is 1 out of 36, or essentially 1 out of 37. Remember that the Electoral Act specifies that for the president to win, for the person who to become president-elect, he needs to win 2/3 and 25% votes in each of the 2/3. Now, if you take just one state out of the equation, somebody can still achieve that without Rivers State. Although we must point out that Rivers State has a fairly large population, but it is still achievable to win an outright victory before Rivers State comes in.
Still in Rivers State, Well, we expected, and most people expected that there would be violence in Rivers in one way or the other, and it came to pass. And could it have been avoided? Rivers is very sensitive nowadays because of the division between PDP and APC in the state, which translates to what happened today. Could the violence have been avoided?
Short answer: Rivers, the way they play politics, no. In let's put it very simply, every election that has happened in Rivers State since 1999, people have died. Of course, the worst blowout came after the 2007 elections when Soboma George and Ateke Tom and their supporters went into the streets and for 3 months they held the stage hostage killings and all of that. That was the worst ever. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's almost a culture there, and it's kind of a very irritating culture. The roots of political violence in Rivers States in this present dispensation go as far back as the UTD administration, when politicians actually armed all these militant groups in order to support them. So that has become an almost intractable problem in Rivers. How to be sorted? Well, it remains to be seen.
So hopefully it will not persist afterwards, because now that the election as it is.
Well, at the moment, I'm seeing a clean, in the governorship election in Rivers State, I'm seeing a clean sweep for the PDP, unless things change. So if there's going to be any violence, it's going to be limited to small pockets, very quick. It will likely be voter intimidation, and then we just hope that it's not going to degenerate to the 2007 level, where the groups who enforced what the politicians wanted started fighting among themselves. That is the risk, but not between supporters of different parties. PDP has Rivers State on lockdown.
Certain.
I'm certain of that.
Okay, now let's come to the crux of it. The results are started trickling in, and from indications, well, it's too early to call anything now, but what we have on ground, who has an edge?
It depends on the part of the country.
Okay, let's start with Lagos.
Let's start with Lagos. At the moment, it appears that General Buhari has a very serious lead. However, results haven't come from areas like Okota or Jaw. Now, these are areas that Okota or Jaw and Wardofin. Now, these are areas that have a large population of people from the south and southeast resident there. So I'm going to still maintain what I've said before, that it's likely that the president will win in those areas. However, the biggest local government area in Lagos, Alimosho, appears to have gone the general's way, and almost by a landslide. So I'm going to call Lagos for Buhari.
Well, that's it. Oyo State.
Ogun State appear to be going APC. Ogun State still, Oyo State seems to be going a bit of, it's not certain yet. It's still swinging, but it's tilting slightly towards the APC. Ogun State has almost definitely gone APC. Ondo State appears to be tilting, and not slightly, it appears to be tilting quite heavily towards the APC. Osun State also appears to be tilting quite heavily towards the APC. I would actually go ahead and call Osun State as APC. Ekiti State, there have been some interesting patterns, but so it's swinging as well. But at the moment, the tilt appears to be towards the PDP.
But one would think with the late rally of President Jonathan in the past 6 weeks, to get the goodwill of the western states, that it would really impact. But so far,
it appears that the battleground has shifted. It has shifted from the southwest, as a lot of people predicted before the elections, to the middle belt. Interesting early results from Benue and Kogi states. Now, these are states that have never voted opposition before. In Bogo, Benue State, the APC has cleared that place.
Wow.
That was like, whoa, when I saw that. In Lokoja, at the moment, it appears that the APC is clearing it. Again, that's another wow result. So it appears that the battleground is shifting towards the middle belt rather than the southwest. But if we look at the population patterns again, the northwest has a very heavy population. Northwest has 16 million registered voters who with a very high PVC collection percentage rate. So the Northwest alone can, if Buhari wins heavily there, it can take cover up for whatever shortfalls he may experience, or let's rephrase, he will definitely experience in Southeast and South-South. If he sweeps the West as it's looking, things may change, but as it's looking, if he sweeps the West, then it's the middle belt. Because then if he sweeps both the Northwest and the West, and then the Northeast, again, I'm seeing interesting patterns coming in from the Northeast. In Maiduguri, you are saying whole polling units voting entirely for General Buhari, not a single person voting for the president. That's unprecedented. So it now becomes a question of, between all of these states, can he get 2/3? That's now the question that we're looking at. We're no longer just looking at. It looks like he will win in popular votes, but now it's not just about popular vote, but about getting the required national spread. Will he get up to 25% in enough states in the Southeast and South-South to get the required national spread and say that yes, he has won the election outright? That's the question now, based on any voting patterns. But a note of caution to Buhari supporters. In 2011, when the voting started, the then CPC actually shot into an early lead. And then overnight, when results started coming in from a lot of places that hadn't declared early results, the current president, Jonathan, took the lead and eventually won the elections. So that's a note of caution to APC supporters. Hold your horses. The tide may shift. It's still possible that the tide may shift.
From everything Cheta has said, and from all indications and from the results that are coming in poco, do you think it is possible for Buhari to have a chance in Southeast and South-South, which is predominantly pro-JJ?
No, there's no chance. Especially like the results coming, just a few results we've gotten from the Southeast, we see outrageous results. We see for some polling units you get 104 for PDP and APC 0. And that's,
I'll take exception to your use of the word outrageous. Why would you say outrageous?
No, okay.
The people support President Jonathan, so it's
okay. Okay, true. But so I don't seem. We've not seen any result. Surprisingly, we've not seen any result from Imo. That's the only state that people think he may do. He may clear. He will not clear, but he may able to do relatively well. I don't think he will clear it. Yeah. In the Southeast, like the report is going on, Rivers State, that he may get up to 25% is. We are hearing information, even though not confirmed yet. We're hearing that the result sheet. Even Amechi complained. Then for Edo State, I know yes, he's going to do well also in Edo State, because Edo has every state has 3 yes. Edo North we go APC's way because of the governor. Edo Central traditionally they go PDP's way. That's where Anemi is from. That's where the Minister of Works is from. Or not Lememe. That's where Tommy Kim is from. So that place is gone. And Edo South, which are Benin people that have the highest vote population, Oshomole seems to be losing his popularity then. So I don't see how, but he will do relatively well in Edo State.
Which translates to
up to 25.
He will get up to 25%, because those are the calculations that are coming into play now.
No, yeah.
Will he get
up to 25%?
Will he get up to 25%?
Interestingly, from the results coming from the North Central, the North alone has 19 states. The South has 6, that's 25. 24% of 35 states, of 36 is actually 24, plus FCT, that's 25. So you have to win, you have to get at least 25. Like Cheta said, it looks like you will get the popular votes, yeah, but you have to get 25% of 36 states, which is actually 24 states. The North alone, the result we've gotten from Plateau State, from Jos North, is looking, I just don't want to believe it, because Plateau State is traditionally a PDP state, but the few results we've gotten from there is looking not regular looking. So, but once more results come, it's looking like it's following the pattern. Is looking APC, which is not normal.
So, bottom line is At least in Plateau, I would say that the general is almost guaranteed 25%.
Yes.
He may not win Plateau still, but I think he will get it.
And Benue too. Even the result from Benue is also looking good. So it looks like those are the two main states in the north central where he may not get. He would have not gotten the 25%. But even those his supposedly weak states is doing well there. So I think he will get 24%, 25% in every northern state, which is 19, and he will get 25% in the whole southwest state, which is actually 6. That's 25. So I think 25% is guaranteed for the general.
Okay, now fine. It's too early to call anything at the moment, but from what we are seeing, President Jonathan's men, mostly Obanikoro, Fani Kayode, and even Gani Adams, who recently came on board, the PDP lost in their wards.
Well, there's contention in Obanikoro's ward.
Okay.
Yeah. APC supporters have tweeted results that Obanikoro lost his ward.
Okay.
Obanikoro, on his own part from his official Twitter account, tweeted that he won his ward and tweeted
His own version.
you have two different results.
So we have to wait for
I called some APC guys asking how far they insist. I tried to reach out to some PDP guys. They also insist. So it's contentious. So we have to wait for the official INEC results. However, we must bear in mind, if you take a bit of history, in this particular one, I'm inclined to believe the PDP guys, because I know that in that particular place, Obanikoro is very popular, and his son, if you remember, won the local government elections there in 2011. So it's very possible that Obanikoro won it.
The fact that, okay, let's still put Obanikoro on the side for now, but the fact that someone like Gani Adams, who recently came out to endorse President Jonathan, and it is rumored or believed that he did so because of the sum of money he got for the pipeline protection contract for the OPC. The fact that his own word, the PDP would lose. Do you think that was a good investment by the president on him?
The truth is this: the investment by the president on all the ethnic militia was a very bad investment. Any way you look at it, this is not just about the elections; this is about after the elections. Because the OPC, for example, was an almost dead organization, and then suddenly they got this cash injection that has served as a sort of atropine and has shocked them back into life. The question we now have to start asking is, even if President Jonathan wins, what will become of the OPC after the elections? You have these people who suddenly have found a new lease of life. What happens to them? What happens to them? Because one of the big issues in this election, which started neither party dwelt on, is the economy. What happens when, as the trajectory that we are seeing continues, and Nigeria is not able to pay these guys for the pipeline contracts? What happens then? Those are questions that we need to ask. I'm not surprised that Gani Adams lost his word. He's not a popular guy by any definition of the word popular.
So why did the president see reason to invest in it?
Well, maybe they win.
Well, okay, now, do you think it's panic mode for PDP at the moment, or do you
No, it's still early days. It's still too early to panic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's less than 10% of the votes that are counted that are coming. So if they panic at this point in time, then you have to look at them and be like, what? Because it means that they were never strong in the first place. No, it's too early for them to panic.
We know, well, you said earlier that you are a bit pro APC in a way.
In a way,
yeah. So, given what we are, given what's obtainable at the moment, and considering where we're going to, and tomorrow where we'll round up the election, what do you envisage?
I think it will be a victory for the APC, and the margin will not be close.
Earlier on, you said 6 weeks ago it would have been a mudslide, but due to the postponement,
it will not be a landslide.
You still stand by it?
I stand by it. Not a landslide in the when they say landslide, it's like it was a total knockout. But when I mean landslide, it will not be as we are thinking. I think most prediction or most quote unquote realistic prediction, say just maybe 1 million, 2 million differences, but I think it will be more than that. But it will not be like 10 million.
Okay, so at the end of the day, whoever, Jonathan wins or Buhari wins, this election has been so divisive.
Yeah.
What do you foresee afterwards? Where do you see Nigeria as a nation? The economy is terrible. The treasury is rumored to be
Empty, or close
getting to empty, and the division has never been this
true.
obvious. So what do you see?
Yeah, we need it. For me, I think one of the reasons I support General Buhari, I think it would be a more, not less divisive president. This country needs healing. We need national healing. We see many ethnic groups are hurting. We need some. The Southeast, you see, Southeast will never. They're never looking at the way of the general. But if, for example, the general wins and does well relatively for them, I think that animosity, quote unquote, between the Igbos and the Hausas may tend to reduce. Yeah, in the north, the minorities they feel like they're always oppressed and everything. So if we need a president that can bring all of us together under one umbrella, I think Buhari can do that. Basically, I think President Jonathan, it's quite unfortunate. He has led to many. I've never seen this country as divisive as it is now. And you don't need a divisive personality to rule a country this diverse. As relating to economy, yes, everybody has been saying it, that the economy is bleeding. Chasoludo came out. Everybody that care, everybody's picking up that there's something. The next government may actually inherit an empty treasury. That's one concern. And in the response of, I think, Fayemi to Soludo, he said they are actually working with, one scenario they are working with is meeting an almost empty treasury. The miracle they want to do, I don't know, but I think in the few months to come, we'll see the effect of this election.
Okay, that's if Buhari wins.
For any party.
Okay, and if Buhari wins, you feel he can harmonize the country more than President Jonathan?
I personally think that.
What if President Jonathan wins his re-election bid?
If President Jonathan wins his re-election, for me, it will be continuity. The question becomes continuity of what? The questions that he will have to ask himself will be, everybody, and even he himself has publicly admitted as much now, that he's had very bad advisors. So he will have to do a total cleaning of his table. So the only question I have is, will he have the courage to do it? Because in pursuing his re-election bid, he's made a lot of concessions and a lot of promises. He will have to break some of them. That's the fact. So the question is, will he, one, have the courage to break those promises? And two, will he have the wisdom to prioritize which promises to break and which ones needs to be fulfilled? That's the question facing Goodluck Jonathan if he gets re-elected.
Okay, so we can leave it at this for today till we convene tomorrow at YNaija Situation Room in partnership with CcHub. So far, election has been held in some places, in Presidential, House of Assembly, the upper and lower chamber, and some have been extended till tomorrow for some issues or the other. And we will reconvene tomorrow and we will be with you. You can call in tomorrow on 090326900704. You can also send us pictures and details of what's happening at your polling unit to elections@ynaija.com. I've been with Chetan Wanze and Afe Kome. My name is Kola Boju. We will be with you again tomorrow and take you through the election and voting process. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.